Y'all will not believe this. So I saw the title of this and I was like, wait, what? And then I heard the first 10 seconds and I was like, no. We gotta watch this together. The title says 911 operator fired after hanging up on multiple callers. Y'all listen to the first 10 seconds.
Miss Williams, step away from the console.
Excuse me, I'm working.
The logs say otherwise.
And
The system glitches. A mother tried calling 3 times. You hung up 3 times.
I just didn't feel like working.
Stand up, right?
Yeah.
You can't make this shit up, people.
We are going to dive into it. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts in the comment section. The attitude on these cannot make this up. Cannot make this up. Fair use. The full video is linked in the description box. Let's watch it.
Right now.
I didn't feel like working that
Craziness.
day. That was Crenshonda Latrice Williams, 23 years old, 18 months on the job as a 911 dispatcher for Harris County, Texas. And in that moment, sitting at her console on the 5th floor of the Emergency Communication Center on Travis Street in downtown Houston, she had just admitted to failing a family in the worst way imaginable. What investigators had uncovered in the weeks leading up to this confrontation was a pattern so callous, so indifferent to human suffering, that seasoned detectives struggled to process it. 47 emergency calls over 10 months, medical emergencies, domestic violence, car accidents on I-10 and the Katy Freeway, each one answered by Crenshonda Williams, each one disconnected within seconds.
Imagine, why take the job? Imagine getting in a car accident, a really bad car accident, and you call 911 and you know how she gonna answer. Hello, 911, what's your emergency? 911, what's your emergency? And then you say, hey, I got in an accident. Then you hear a beep, beep. It's a serious matter. It is a serious matter. It is so serious that we have to laugh to prevent ourselves from going crazy. But let the video continue.
But it was the Williams calls, 3 desperate pleas from a mother trying to save her 4-month-old son, that would send this case to trial, to national news, and ultimately to a prison cell in Gatesville, Texas. 18 months in state prison. A $1.4 million settlement paid by Harris County taxpayers.
18 months?
And a mother who will never stop asking why her son never had a chance because someone couldn't be bothered to do her job. Crenshonda Latrice Williams was born in March 1999 in 3rd Ward, Houston. Her mother, Patricia, worked as a dental hygienist at a clinic on Wheeler Avenue. Steady work, decent benefits, home by 6 most nights.
All right, I'm going to skip this part. If you guys want to go check it out, you guys can go watch the video. I want to jump to the actual 911 interaction.
The first documented hang-up came on October 14th, 2022.
All right, yeah, I'll start it right here. If you guys want to check it, he did like the background of the caller, you know, talking about her and her mama. But I'll start it right here when the actual like investigation starts.
The first documented hang-up came on October 14th, 2022, 6 months into her employment. 7:47 p.m., Crenshonda Williams at Station 7. A man calling to report a fender bender on West Park Drive. 2 cars, no injuries. He just needed to file a report. I need to report an click, call duration, 4 seconds, no callback, no documentation, serious? No dispatch. The caller eventually drove to a police substation to file the report himself. Crenshonda Williams went back to scrolling Instagram, her phone propped against the monitor.
Wow.
It was such a small thing, a fender bender. No one was hurt. No one would ever know. Calls she deemed not worth her time. Fender benders. Those were easy to dismiss. Noise complaints, not real emergencies. Callers who sounded intoxicated. They'd call back when they sobered up. Women who sounded hysterical. Someone else could deal with them. She developed a method. Answer the call. Listen for 2 seconds, maybe 3. Decide.
Wow.
Hang up. If the caller dialed again, someone else would pick up. Not her problem. Her colleagues noticed she had the shortest average call times on the floor. Station 7 was clearing calls faster than anyone.
And you know what? You know what? This come to me. The other day, I called Amazon because I needed, I did the, you know, in Amazon you can do like the within hours delivery. So I needed something by between 7 a.m. and 11 a.m. One day I ordered it the night before, but at like 10:30, I saw that the package was still at the warehouse and it wasn't out for delivery yet. And I'm like, listen, I know I live 45 minutes away from the warehouse. If it's not out for delivery yet at 10:30, am I going to get my package by 11 a.m.? So I called their customer service. The lady going to tell me about, the bank has a hold on this transaction, so I need to call the bank. I said, ma'am, that don't make no sense because Amazon does overnight delivery. The bank usually take 3 to 5 business days to clear transaction. So how y'all gonna have overnight delivery but then thinking that, oh, my bank has that excuse does not make any sense. But what it clicked to me, what these customer service people, they are so lazy in doing their job, they want to push it off on someone else. So what this representative was trying to do is push it off on my bank. So when I call my bank and they say, no, that's not an issue, we typically hold 3 to 5 business days. Amazon is the one who sent out, you promise overnight, so it shouldn't matter if my bank hold it 3 to 5 days. But what she wanted me is to call the bank. When the bank tell me no, call back Amazon, I will call back and get somebody else.
You cannot trick me. You cannot trick me.
So she is too lazy to do her job. So she was trying to put me off. It's the same thing what this lady does. Craziness, crazy.
Short calls meant
but
efficiency.
obviously, I need to plug this right here. Obviously, it's not the same thing. Me calling Amazon and them calling 911 is 2 different things. I'm just saying. This is just an example of how these customer service representatives do not care.
Man, this is some bullshit.
Meant efficiency. Efficiency was good for the metrics. Her supervisors noted in quarterly reviews that she met minimum call quotas, but was not particularly engaged. One wrote that she seems distracted at times but maintains acceptable performance metrics. Another observed she could benefit from additional mentorship on caller empathy. No formal complaints were filed. No disciplinary action taken. The red flags were there. Nobody looked. Between October 2022 and August 2023, 10 months, Crenshaw Williams hung up on 47 emergency calls. 12
47.
were classified as medical emergencies, cardiac events, diabetic
Wow.
episodes, a woman experiencing a medical crisis in a grocery store parking lot.
Wow.
8 were domestic violence calls, women calling to report that they were in danger. 1 was hiding in a bathroom closet, whispering into her phone.
Not a
14 were traffic accidents. Cars flipped on the highway. Pedestrians struck in crosswalks. At least 2 involved serious injuries.
Are you
7
serious?
were wellness checks. Family members worried about elderly relatives. Neighbors who hadn't seen the woman next door in days. 6 were classified as other. A gas leak. A suspicious person outside a daycare. A child who had wandered away from home. Each one a person in crisis. Each one trusting that when they called for help, someone would answer. Someone would listen. Someone would send
this
help.
serious.
Each one heard a click. Then silence.
This serious. This needs to be a felony. This serious. But you know, it's sad to say, I'm not surprised. Based on her lashes, I'm not surprised.
August 12th, 2023. A Sunday. Houston summer. 94 degrees and humid. Denise Williams was 28 years old. She lived alone with her 4-month-old son, Jalen. Jalen's father was not in the picture. Had never been in the picture. It was just the 2 of them. That evening, around 6 o'clock, she put Jalen down for a nap in his crib. He'd been fussy all day, not eating well, a little warm to the touch. She thought he was finally settling. She went to the kitchen to heat up some leftovers. At 6:14 p.m., she checked on him. Something was wrong. He wasn't responding. He needed help immediately. She grabbed her phone, hands shaking, dialed 911. 911, what's your emergency? My baby, he's not okay. Please, click. Call duration, 3 seconds.
Wow.
Crenshaw Williams at station 7. Logged in the system as accidental disconnect. Denise stared at her phone, tried to process what had just happened. She dialed again, 14 seconds later. Ma'am, 911, please, my son, he's 4 months old. Something's wrong. I need an ambulance. Please, click. 5 seconds.
Wow.
Same station, same dispatcher.
But why would you click if you get the call twice and you hear my baby? Why would you click? Some of them so stupid. Cause okay, yeah, our job as serious as a 911 operator is not a job you should be half-assing. But say you're gonna half-ass a job, why not half-ass a job smart? Why not? If you get the call twice, say you're gonna hang up the first time and you're like, you know, I'm half-assing a job, I'm gonna hang up. Not saying it's acceptable, but for argument's sake, then you get the call again. Why not just take it? Because when you document it as accidentally disconnected or whatever like that, all right? The second time it'll accidentally disconnect again, and don't 911 operators call you back when you call and it disconnect?
Logged as caller disconnected. She dialed a 3rd time, screaming now. One hand on Jalen's tiny chest, trying to remember what to do from a video she'd seen once. She didn't know if she was doing it right. She didn't know if it mattered. Please, someone help me. Click. 2 seconds. Crenshaw Williams had hung up on a mother, desperately trying to save her baby.
3 times.
3 times in 75 seconds. Then she went back to her phone. Denise's neighbor, Marcus Holloway, heard screaming through the thin apartment walls. He pounded on her door. found her holding Jalen, sobbing so hard she couldn't speak. He didn't ask questions. He grabbed his keys. They drove to
Oh,
Memorial
gosh.
Hermann Medical
This-
Center,
my
the
blood
Texas
just
Medical
run
Center
cold.
campus. 8 minutes.
Yeah, my blood just run goosebump. Cause how can you be so wicked and evil? Like, and you know, people make excuses, well, oh, she young and dumb. No, she wicked and evil. Because thinking back at 23, I would never pull something like this. If you grow up with any kind of morals and values and characteristics, you will never pull nothing like this. You have to there's a point where we have to stop making excuses for these wicked and evil people. And just call a spade a spade. You're wicked and evil because she's wicked and evil at 23. What do you think she's going to be at 33? If she's capable of doing this at 23, she's capable of doing 10 times, 20 times more at 43. Her age not got nothing to do with the fact that she's just wicked and evil.
Away in Sunday evening traffic. Marcus ran red lights. Denise held Jalen in the back seat, pleading with him to hold on.
My heart.
But too much time had passed. Over 20 minutes without proper emergency response. At 6:58 p.m., the doctors delivered the news no parent should ever have to hear. Jalen Marcus Williams was gone.
They
4
need to
months
charge
old.
her. They need to charge her and her supervisor and everybody else because how she gets away with this for 10 months? They need to charge her.
The medical examiner's report noted that outcome may have differed with immediate emergency intervention. If an ambulance had been dispatched on that first call, the one Crenshonda Williams ended after 3 seconds, paramedics could have been on scene in 4 to 6 minutes.
Ugh! Imagine.
Proper medical care could have been administered.
Piss
The
me
outcome
off,
might have
man.
been different. Instead, Denise Williams rode to the hospital in the backseat of a stranger's car, praying for a miracle that never came. She would later testify that she kept hoping Jalen would be okay, that she couldn't accept what had happened, that she held him for 2 hours in the emergency room before finally letting go. September 2023, a routine quarterly audit. Quality assurance supervisor Terrence Mobley was reviewing call metrics when he noticed an anomaly. Station 7, an unusual concentration of calls lasting under 5 seconds, far more than any other station.
That's what I'm saying. Why it takes so long for them to notice that her call volume lasting so short?
Down. One dispatcher accounted for 71% of all sub-5-second calls over the previous 12 months. Crenshonda
Exactly.
Williams, 47 calls.
Why it take them so
Average
long?
duration, 3.2 seconds. That wasn't efficiency. That was impossible. You couldn't verify a caller's location in 3.2 seconds. You couldn't assess an emergency. You couldn't do anything. Mobley pulled the audio files. Every 911 call in Harris County is recorded. Every single one. What he heard made him physically ill. Caller after caller. Mid-sentence. Mid-scream. Mid-plea. Then silence.
Yeah. My thing is like, why it take them so long to figure this out? Aren't you guys supposed to be doing like checking the calls and doing the what would I call them? 6 months? I mean, not 6 months. 10 months?
My husband is hurting me. Please send someone to... Click. There's been an accident on the freeway. I think someone's injured. Click.
Click.
I can't feel my left arm. I think I'm having a...
Can you
Click.
imagine?
And then the Williams calls. A mother's voice, rising from confusion to panic to desperate screaming.
3
calls.
clicks.
3 clicks. A family's nightmare on the other end of the line. Mobley forwarded the files to his supervisor that afternoon. Internal Affairs was notified within the hour. The Texas Rangers were brought in the following day. Crenshonda Williams was placed on administrative leave on September 19th, 2023. 2 days later, she was brought to the Internal Affairs Office for questioning. Investigator Raymond Gaines and Texas Ranger Pauline Vickers were waiting. They played her the audio, the Williams calls, a mother begging for help. Her own voice, bored and flat, before each disconnect. The system glitches all the time, she said. Calls drop. It's not my fault.
For you alone. For you
They
one.
played it again. Her voice. 911, what's your emergency? Then the click. Long pause. I didn't feel like working that day. They asked about the other 46 calls. She shrugged. Sometimes I just didn't feel like talking. September 18th, 2023.
This is what
2:22
happened when,
p.m.
wait, where
The day before the...
This is what happened when there's no structure in the household. How much y'all want to bet her mama a single mom? No structure, no discipline, no guidance in the household, no consequences. No chores, probably. No accountability. No responsibility. No nothing in the household. This is the result of it, man. These entitled, grown people thinking, oh, I just didn't feel like working today. I just didn't feel like working. Myself, when I tell you, y'all single mom thinking that you're adding value to the community by being a strong single mom by yourself. You're actually destroying the community because you're raising people who do not know how to take accountability, responsibility, nothing for nothing.
Formal interview. Crenshonda Williams at Station 7. First hour of her shift. Iced Starbucks on the desk. Phone face down beside the keyboard. Headset draped around her neck, not on her ears. Internal Affairs investigator Raymond Gaines walked across the floor toward her station. Texas Ranger Pauline Vickers beside him, both in plain clothes, both with badges visible. Every dispatcher on the floor watched. Crenshonda Williams, Gaines's voice was flat. Step away from the console. She looked up, rolled her eyes. Excuse me, I'm working. 47 hang-ups, your login, your headset, your voice on every recording. Arms crossed, neck rolled. And the system glitches. Calls drop all the time. Vickers stepped forward.
Excuses.
A family lost their baby. Mother called 3 times. You hung up 3 times. Crenshonda's jaw tightened. She looked away. I didn't feel like working that day. Stand up, now.
Come on,
she
man.
was
Come
escorted
on,
from the
man.
communications center in handcuffs. 31 colleagues watched in silence. Badge confiscated. Access card deactivated. Console locked. At 4:47 p.m., she was booked at Harris County Jail on Baker Street. Charges: 2 counts of interference with emergency telephone calls,
Imagine.
normally a misdemeanor, elevated to a state jail felony due to the resulting tragedy. 1 count reckless conduct. 1 count dereliction of duty. Bond was set at $100,000.
She'd even get charged for murder because she murdered a girl picnic. She murdered the child because, as paramedics say, if they were there on time, the child would have survived. And it's directly because of her actions why the child passed. So she needs to be charged for manslaughter.
Mother posted 10% through a bondsman the next morning. The state of Texas formally indicted Crenshonda Latrice Williams in October 2023. The trial began February 12, 2024. Public defender Simone Ashford for the defense. She argued systemic failures, inadequate training, a broken system that allowed one dispatcher to hang up 47 times without triggering a single flag.
I would agree with
the
that.
prosecution did not need
that's why I agree that everybody, her supervisors all the way up, needs to be held accountable, because ain't no way you should be allowed. You should have gotten away with it 47 times. Crazy.
Arguments. They played the audio. The jury heard the Williams calls on the first day of testimony. Courtroom silent. 12 jurors in the box. Denise Williams in the gallery, clutching a photograph of Jalen. 911, what's your emergency? My baby, he's not okay. Please. Click. Several jurors closed their eyes. One wiped her face. They heard the second call. The third. A mother screaming into a void.
Imagine.
One juror requested a recess. The judge granted it. Denise Williams took the stand on February 14th, Valentine's Day. She held a photograph of Jalen in her lap, the only photo she had of him smiling. I called 3 times, she said. 3 times, and she hung up while my baby needed help. Tears now. I did everything right. I called 911. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what they tell you. She paused. I will never know if he could have been saved. If I had just driven to the hospital myself from the start. I will never stop asking why. The defense had no cross-examination. There was nothing to ask. The jury deliberated for 47 minutes. 1 minute for each hang-up. Guilty on all counts. Sentencing was handed down on March 8th, 2024.
Because it should have taken 47 seconds. 1 second for each hang up. Ain't no question, no doubt about it. No reasonable doubt or nothing like that. For 1 second, first hang up, guilty. Second hang up, guilty. Come on now.
Addressed the defendant directly. Ms. Williams, you were entrusted with the most sacred responsibility a civilian can hold in our society.
Craziness, crazy.
To be the voice between crisis and rescue. When a citizen dials 911, they are placing their life in the hands of a stranger. They are trusting that someone will answer, that someone will listen, that someone will send help. She paused. You betrayed that trust 47 times.
47
You treated that
times.
responsibility as an inconvenience. You treated human suffering as an interruption to your day. A 4-month-old baby is gone because you, in your own words, didn't feel like working. She looked at the defendant. The callousness of that statement will stay with this court forever. Sentence.
But
18 months in the Texas
18
Department
months.
of Criminal Justice
18 months.
to be served at the Lane Murray Unit in Gatesville.
For a baby's life. 18 months for a 4-month-old life.
10 years supervised probation upon release. Lifetime ban from employment in emergency services anywhere in the United States.
Of course.
$52,000 restitution to the Williams family. Crenshonda Williams showed no visible reaction. She was handcuffed and led from the courtroom without looking back. She reported to Lane Murray Unit on March 22nd, 2024. Inmate number 02174893. A women's facility 180 miles northwest of Houston. Eligible for parole after 6 months. Expected release September 2025. The Williams family filed a lawsuit against Harris County in November 2023. The county settled in April 2024 for $1.4 million. Taxpayer money, no admission of liability. As part of the settlement, Harris County agreed to implement new monitoring protocols. Supervisors now receive real-time alerts for any call disconnected under 10 seconds. Call duration patterns are reviewed weekly instead of quarterly.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Shouldn't they be reviewing calls more often? And then he was like weekly instead of quarterly, but these calls weren't being reviewed quarterly. Obviously, if she got away with it for 10 months, her calls weren't being reviewed.
Must document a reason for every disconnection. Denise Williams has not
Exactly.
returned to work. She moved out of the apartment on Westheimer Road. She couldn't stay where everything happened.
Of course
She
not.
attends counseling twice a week. She has declined all media interviews except one. She said only this: I did everything right. I called for
Yeah.
help. I trusted the system. And my son is gone because someone didn't feel like doing her job.
Craziness.
Frenshonda Williams will be released from prison before Jalen Williams would have celebrated his second birthday. She will serve less than 2 years for what her actions cost a family. Stories like this don't get the attention.
Let me tell you, it's crazy that they have the same last name. I peeped that towards the end when I was a little confused. I thought he made a mistake when he said the Williams family, but she has the same last name of the family whose life she destroyed. Craziness. You see the products of these single mamas? Because I want to guarantee I can put my next paycheck on it. Ain't no daddy was in her household. No strong masculine leader, at least, who provide the structure, the discipline, the guidance, the responsibilities, the accountability. You deal with their consequences. I bet she grew up just saying, oh, okay, whatever. I'm a black woman, hear me roar. Can't do nothing, can't touch me. And if you do try to hold her accountable, she's going to be like, oh, well, it's because I'm a black woman. No accountability. She has never seen not one accountability in her life. And in my humble opinion, she still hasn't seen any accountability for making this 4-month-old baby lose his life. She should have gotten way more than 18 months in my humble opinion. But hey, as I said, the full video is linked in the description box below. If this is not some, I do not know what is. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave your thoughts in the comment section. Rest in peace to that baby boy, and my condolences to his family. I'll see you guys next time. Take care, y'all.